Alright, so excuse the mess, but I'm just going to go overview and explanation of my chaotic thinking and overview of this mess I've created. So a couple months ago, month and a half ago, a friend of mine, we went through the 8,000 VHS tapes, give or take, and we broke them down alphabetically, boxed them up into boxes. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, I think 4, 5 Bs. I went through 5 As last night. So they're all VHS tapes are all boxed together by alphabetization. Not counting the Disney clamshells, the MGM coffin boxes, the Anchor Bay style ink clamshells, and all the box sets up there. That's kind of its own separate thing. I'm going through those a little bit differently. So the plan, as I did with the A's, I opened up the A's, I had them all lined all across the floor. So what I'm doing is I'm taking one of each copy of every movie for personal collection. And as you'll see sometimes, there's like 3 or 4 different versions of Apocalypse Now. All from different release dates. One's from the mid-'80s, late 80s, mid-'90s, late 90s, whatever. So I'm keeping one of every type. So even if they all look exactly the same, if it's just like a minor difference, I'm keeping one of each, and that's going into the personal collection. So I went through, I think, 4 or 5 boxes of A's. Yeah, because this is a trash box. Then over here, behind here, once I go through, PCA means personal collection A. So those 3 boxes of A's back behind there are all ones I'm keeping for the personal collection for the time being. This box of A's is all doubles or triples or more that could be saved for later use for sales, selling whatever else. And some of these other ones just have like writing and junk, or they're in bad condition, so they're just going straight to the dumpster. So the idea being, anything that I'm taking from here that's not from my childhood collection, again, keeping one of each, adding to the personal collection, but they're going over here. I'm going to fill this whole wall full of personal collection stuff and sit on it. And then all these boxes, as they go through and fill for ones for sale, they'll get taken out and put in like a new storage place. And I'll go through those as needed. So this, whatever you want to call it, is personal collection from childhood. Not counting those front 2 stacks, but all that back there, all these here, all these here, all the ones over there, and all the ones over there are all childhood, teenage years, personal collection. So the process is I'll take a tape, I'll pop it in, I'll record the beginning of the tape all the way up until the title card of the movie, and I'll create that as a digital file. Once I do that, I take my pictures of it here, getting a good picture, blop, of the cover art, and then it'll go over here. Actually, these here and those there are kind of the same. They have all the trailers and title cards are ripped off of them, and there's pictures taken. This stack here, I've gone through these. They have all the trailers and movie titles and stuff taken off of them, but I don't have pictures of them yet. So once I get all the pictures, they go up here or over there. I'm eventually going to have another idea for that storage rack at some point. So then once they're here and all the content's taken off of them, pictures are taken, then they wait till they get an inspection video done. Once the inspection video is done, they go over here. And then the thing is, I'm trying to re-watch all of my childhood collection. So Mr. Fulci, my dog down there, my best friend, my bud, him and I have movie nights as much as possible. Some nights we can do 2 movies in a night. Most nights we just do 1 because I have a day job and an overnight job, and a 3rd job coming up here in the next couple months. So once the movie's watched and or a video inspection video is done, then they go into one of the fancy plastic keep cases for childhood collection. But I'm going to go burn through all those first, and then I'll eventually, as this personal collection, the new stuff grows, I'll eventually go through those too. But I think the back stack back there, the back ones are ones I've already watched. These I have not rewatched. This stack I've actually rewatched. This one we just watched today. And like I was talking about earlier, these are actually all doubles and triples. Now you look at these, they look like they're the same edition of The Abyss, but if you flip it on the side, you have a CBS Fox Video tag, and on this side you have a Fox Video tag. So this one is the earliest version, followed by like, I think the second one from like the 90s, I think. This one a little questionable long because it has this taped on number that I can't take off, but you know, I'm building all these little sets and things to sell for in my vendor case at one of my jobs. Putting these things together, adding little keychains and stuff to them, shrink wrapping them all myself. I haven't really talked about them much, but if you dig around on my channels, you'll kind of see I have this thing. It's called the Video Barchive. I actually established, I haven't talked about it much because it's just one of those things I'm just kind of doing just for fun. But I established a nonprofit called the Video Barchive. It's a legitimate 501c3. I sell VHS tapes, horror memorabilia, and all other kind of stuff out of a vendor case at my day job, things like this. And all profits I donate to other charities that actually do work with dogs. I donate all the profits to canine charities, either locally here in Kansas City or just around ones I find interesting. So right now I'm stocking up, getting things made. See, Video Barchive, getting things made to sell for Halloween coming up. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this video, but there is a method to the madness. It's just right now it is September 24th. September 24th, and I'm curious to see how long it's going to take to get this completely destroyed and done. Because potentially the third job will have use for a lot of these, or I could store a lot of these boxes at the third job for eventual use. Because what I've been doing, you know, I have multiple YouTube channels. VHS Inspector, BAC Archive are essentially the same. Then I have one called Tripsy Trailers, the Trailer Trove. Both host. Tripsy Trailers is all digital movie trailers. Trailer Trove is a mixture of VHS rip trailers and digital trailers. There's a channel called VHS Rip, which is all stuff sourced from VHS. And then one called Thrift Rips, which is weird commercials and interstitials and bumpers and stuff sourced from all these tapes that have been taped off of TV. I don't even know how many of them are there. But those are harder to do because those things are hours and hours long with a bunch of random commercials and stuff. Oliver. So there's a method to the madness. It's a lot of sitting and editing. It's a lot of creating, you know, still titles. There's a lot of, you know, exporting, a lot of video tagging and sorting and organizing digital files and all that kind of stuff. But there's a method to it. So again, September 24th. I'm curious to see how long it takes to get this room empty. Like, especially when I get to the S's, it's going to be a pain because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe even more back there, just S's. So it's going to take a while, but it's going to be nice to have it done. I have nothing else to do, but with the third potential job coming up, I think it's going to start more so next year, 2026. So I kind of have to rush and get this done as fast as possible. Because once I start the third job, I won't have any time to work on this stuff per se. But all the video content that I'm creating, both the VHS rip stuff and the digital trailers and all that is being accumulated into one big database of, you know, weird bumpers and commercials and trailers and promos and things that will have a potential use at the third job. And I'll talk more about that when that happens. /if that happens, but it's looking pretty good. Again, I haven't talked too much about the potential third job. I haven't talked much about the nonprofit. Just kind of things I'm playing close right now. But eventually, this room will be somewhat clear. It'll be nice to get all this personal collection stuff either built up against this wall, so it's kind of out of the way, and have this empty and all the spares out to storage again, and then just pull one box in every week or two, and just kind of slowly chip away at some point. But it's definitely fun and interesting. I'm finding a lot of cool, weird little promo things, videos and stuff. But it's definitely a lot of work. But in the end, it's going to be worth it, I think. Hope everything's well with you guys. I will see you soon. Say bye to Fulci. So I forget when I recorded the last video, but it's a few days later. And This is what the dining room looks like now. This is pretty much what it looked like when I moved in. And no, the boxes didn't just go over there. Oh yeah, I guess they did. This is all stuff I'm keeping. This deck here I'm keeping. And these boxes, they 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and those 4. So those 8. Essentially what I did is I went through all the boxes again, took all the A's, opened them all up, lined out all the A's, and then took one of each type, or one of each movie. And there's like 5 different versions of the same movie. I took one of each version, you know. I have like 15 Top Guns, and there's at least 4 different releases that just had slightly different box art changes, so I kept one of each. So I went through them all. This is what I'm keeping for the time being. I think about 1,000 went to the dumpster because the box art was destroyed. They just weren't worth reselling. They weren't worth keeping. Other doubles or triples or quadruples, whatever. And some of these are just like the box sets and stuff like that I had lined up over here. Yep. I took pretty much all weekends, like all Friday night, all day Saturday, most of the day Sunday, Monday night, and I think a little bit Tuesday night to get completely done. So that's like, this is all the kind of the mainstream run-of-the-mill stuff. Movies that I never really would have bought or kept, so I'm just keeping one of each anyhow for the time being. But then over here is pretty much like all the good, you know, horror stuff and ones that I want to keep out and have access to. Just like this stuff, I got a whole bunch of different Jaws. They end up all being different, you know, so all those Jaws 3s are different, the Jaws 2, all those Jaws are different, that Jaws there. I think it's the same one as that one there, but there's also a 2 tape set that's a widescreen version. So all these are going to be ones I'm going to be working through for what I do. And in this box here, these are all doubles and triples and quadruples that I've gone through and like re-shrink wrapped and got ready for sale for the charity, for my non-profit. So I'm going to be taking these to work tomorrow, putting them in my vendor case, since it's right now, technically it's October 1st now. If I didn't say that, I remember what day I recorded the last video. It's October 1st, so hopefully my vendor case, a bunch of horror movie stuff, is going to be really good. I got 2 boxes in today that I'm going to do a haul video for. So that's the great part about finally not being done, but being through that step, is eventually I'm going to move all these to storage and then pull one at a time. After I nail all these, I want to build like a shelving system here to put all that stuff that I'm keeping and want to have access to, because I intend on watching them all. I want to have access to those so I can rewatch them. And these will go to storage. I'll pull one out at a time, go through triage and make videos about do what I do. But now that I'm through all of them and done with that step, it's given me the opportunity to go back to doing haul videos. So now I can go to, you know, City Thrift and different thrift stores and start picking up, you know, 10, 15 VHS tapes here and there. The thing is, I'm going to avoid Savers. What sucks is Savers, I don't know if you have Savers where you are, but Savers, they have really great VHS tapes. Usually they have a better selection than City Thrift does. But Savers puts these big, huge ass stickers on them, right on the cardboard, and they're hard to get off, and they leave residue, and it just messes them all up. A good majority of the tapes that I got rid of because they had Savers stickers that wouldn't come off. But City Thrift just puts these little tiny ones on, they peel right off, so it's easy. So I'm going to kind of limit myself to City Thrift and not do major ones. If I find a couple for my personal collection, cool. But I'm going to pick up all your, you know, your run-of-the-mill generic stuff that I think would be fun to collect. Like I built, like, I think it's way down the bottom, but oh no, it's right there. You know, like this. I'm putting together like a Jurassic Park box set. You can get all 3 of the original Jurassic Parks. And I did this for Batman. You get the first 4 Batman tapes, you know. 2 different versions of Basic Instinct, Director's Cut, regular. So I'm going to be a little more choosy. Instead of focusing on just doing haul videos of weird, strange stuff, and just whatever I can get my hands on, I'm going to be more choosy about what I get. And this is, I guess really it has to be somewhat interesting to do a video about it. But I'm going to get like copies of Breakfast Club and all the kind of 80s hits bundling together as like an 80s starter pack. Do a bunch of movies from the 90s, like, you know, put Clerks with Pulp Fiction with The Crow, you know, all your awesome cult 90s stuff. Obviously, you got a bunch of copies of Jurassic Park spare here as well. because I bought these. I'll show you when I get a video of them. I bought these Jurassic Park like lunch pail metal tins that I'm gonna put those inside of, and with like, some stickers and stuff, and reshrink grab and sell those. Which is the same idea I had with like, you know, all these frat rags, cups. I got the Teen Wolf one, Evil Dead Rise. I'm gonna put stuff inside these, shrink wrap them, and sell those too. So be a little bit more choosy with what I had. I'm not gonna go crazy and get another 8,000 tapes, but still a work in progress. But really the worst part of it is done. So that's good. Because now everything there I know I'm gonna keep for the foreseeable future. And then again, when I go through, once I make videos about them, I'll make a decision whether I want to keep or get rid of. But yeah, that's the update. Peace.